So hello students, welcome back. It's Monday.
ใครได้ยินไหมโอเคได้ยิน
How
แล้ว
are we doing?
เขียว
How are we doing? Are we good? Let's start by just watching a short video just to get us in the mood. A short song.
Short?
Yeah, very short, less than 1 minute. It's less than 1 minute.
One second?
No, a little bit more than 1 second. Maybe
ปูเซกัน
40 seconds.
ไฟเซกัน
So let's listen and let's
Who is now the first kid?
listen.
Choo choo school.
No you make me die
Welcome to the start of the day. Now everyone, let's hear you say, we're gonna do great, we're gonna do well. Today's the day that starts with M. That's M-O-N. D-A-Y. It's Monday.
Monday. It's Monday. So
พูดอย่างกับก้อนขี้หมาเลย
ไม่ถึง1 นาที
a good week. And welcome back.
Wow.
Today we're going to go back and look at mathematics. We'll start the week nice and fresh in the morning with mathematics. I hope you are very excited, because I am. Can anyone tell me, what are we busy with in mathematics? Can you remember? What are we busy with in mathematics? Anyone want to guess?
ต้องแบบฝึกอะไรวะ
What are we busy with currently in mathematics?
เขาได้ยินไอโฟนแอปโคบามแต่ถามในก็ได้ก็น่ารำคาญกัน
English only, please. English.
ผีทนได้
Please only speak.
นี่ไงมันคืออะไร
What did we do in mathematics last week? Or the week before that? What are we busy with in mathematics? Okay. Let me see our next mathematics class. So it seems if you guys can't remember, then it is a good time to write a test. What do you think? It's a good time to write a test if we cannot remember what we are talking about. So then I'll prepare a test for us. When is our next math class? Oh, tomorrow. So tomorrow we can write test. Tomorrow we can write a test. Does anyone know? Can anyone tell me what are we busy with?
ฮะกูยังไม่ได้พูดอะไรเลย
Okay. So then I'll prepare a test for you tomorrow.
เพื่อน
Wake up and smell the coffee bright early morning. We are currently busy with fractions. We were busy with fractions. We looked also at the adding of fractions, subtracting fractions, multiplying fractions, dividing fractions. So we were looking at everything fractions. But I wanted us to look today at something a little bit more intense or a little bit more tricky than the stuff we looked at earlier. So these are mixed problems. So we'll have one question and another question all together, and we will solve them separately and then together. So if you look on page 78, we can see, let me just draw here. We can see we have one fraction here, 2/3 plus 1/6 times 3. So here's another part of the question. So one thing that is always important to look at is, who can tell me? we need to look at how we solve these type of problems. So in that regard, we have beautiful 5-letter word. I'll write it down here on the side. B O, I think it's 6 letters. B O D M A S. BODMAS. S. BODMAS. So we need to look at BODMAS when we do mixed problems so that we understand which part of the question we have to do first. So who has heard of BODMAS? Has any of you heard of BODMAS? Did anyone ever tell you about BODMAS before? Or is this the first time? Who knows? Does anyone heard about BODMAS? Porsche, have you heard about BODMAS? Chao Ang, have you heard about BODMAS? Anyone? Maybe Jasmine has heard about BODMAS. Does anyone know what BODMAS stands for? What does the individual letters mean? Let's start. The first one is a B. B for brackets. B for brackets. So everything that is in brackets, we have to do first. So this formula here, BODMAS, goes in the simple form. It starts, number 1 is here on the top. And then we work our way downwards. So we first have to do the top, which is brackets, if there is any brackets. The next one, who can tell me, what does the O mean? Of. Brackets of. So this might be, what is, if the teacher asks you this question in the exam, what is 7/8 of 9? That is where the of comes in, number 2. Number 2 here. Okay. Then after we've done those two, after we've done brackets and we've done of, we go to the D. Who can tell me what does the D stand for? Let's see. Let's see. Where's my little pen? Someone give me a letter. Can anyone give me a letter? Let's see if we can find the word. It starts with a D. Someone give me a letter. Anyone? Give me one letter.
A.
A. That is not one of them.
Oh. I.
O and I. Three eyes. Well done. Well done.
B.
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 B is not part of this one, but it's close. It's very close.
Is
division.
The vision, yes, it is the vision. The vision. That is the D in BODMAS. So first we do brackets, then we do of, then division. What do we think is the M stand for? What does M stand for?
Yeah.
Who can tell me? We have division and we have, what's the other one?
multiplication,
Multiplication. Excellent. Multiplication. That is correct. What about the A? What do we think the A stands for?
addition,
Addition. Yes. Very good. Very good. Excellent. And the last one?
subtraction,
Subtraction. Yes. So this is BODMAS. It is brackets of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. Now this is something that you can learn because you will use it your whole life. Even when I do not do mathematics, but I have something that I have to solve. BODMAS always is a part of the way I think. It's something that you have to write down. If you want, you can write it down now in your books. You will need BODMAS in the future when we are calculating mathematical problems. Very important concept, and I will explain it to you now. So if you look at our first page in our book here, it says we have, let me just reshare. They say here 2/3 plus 1/6 times 3. So let's go to our whiteboard. 2/3 times plus 1/6. So we have 2/3 plus 1/6. See, they already put it for us in brackets. Multiply by 3. So if you want to solve this problem, we will have to first look at BODMAS on our left-hand side here. The first one we see is brackets. So here we have some brackets. So we know we do brackets first. We do the brackets first. So 5/6 times 3. So 2/3 plus 1/6 equals 5/6. Times 3. It's going to be 3/1. Who wants to do the next part? Who wants to do 5/6 times 3? Who wants to do that one for me? Let's see. Whose brain is nice and awake and sharp this morning? Who wants to try it? Anyone can. Let me just make sure. Yeah, anyone can write on the board. If you want to attempt it, you can try. Remember, we did the brackets, the first one. The next one is multiplication. There is no other of division, addition, or subtraction left. Only have multiplication. So what do we say our rules are for multiplying fractions? What we do at the top, we do at the bottom, or the bottom at the top. That sounds more like addition and subtraction. It's what we did here. Multiplication, very straightforward. Multiply the top together, multiply the bottom. Okay, so the top, what is 5 times 3? What is 5 times 3?
15,
It's 15. And what is 6 times 1?
6,
6. So then our answer is 15/6. Now this is not a proper fraction. This is an improper fraction. And we must always make our fractions smaller. Always make them smaller. We have to simplify. So when we simplify 15/6, we divide the 15 by 6. So we divide long division here, 15. When we do a long division, after we finish, so this one, how many times can 6 divide into 15? If we do the division here, how many times does 6 go into 15?
2.
2. Very good. 2 times 6 is 12. And then we have 3 left. 3 as the remainder. Now the remainder is also the numerator to the fraction, if you remember. So the numerator is the top. It's the top of the fraction. It sits on top. The numerator sits on top. And the denominator is what we divided by. At the bottom, it is 6. So we have a whole number, a numerator, and denominator. So when we want to make 15 over 6 smaller, we end up with 2. Oops. We end up with 2 whole numbers. We can see from the top here. We have 6, which is our denominator. And we have 3, which is the remainder, which is the numerator. But is 3 over 6 small enough? Can we make 3 over 6 smaller? Who knows? Can we make this part of the fraction smaller? Yes or no? Can we make 3 over 6 smaller? Can we simplify it? Yes or no? Anyone? How do we simplify fractions? Come on. How do we simplify our fractions? By doing what? By dividing. By dividing. We simplify fractions by dividing them. So we divide the top and then we have to divide the bottom with the same number. So yes, we can simplify the fraction. But we have to be able to divide it by the same number. Let's look at our question that we had to look at here. So if we look at the question here, we started at the top and we multiplied the brackets part. We didn't multiply, we add the brackets. We got to 5 over 6. Yes, we got that. Very good. Then we had to multiply the second part here. We had to multiply. So 5 over 6 equals 15 over 6. And once we've done that, we have to simplify to get to 2.5. See here, they simplify. There's another way of doing it. Do not fully always agree with how they do it. But that is how we have to look at our question. So if you look at the next page, we look at some problems that we'll need to do. Oh, teacher, these ones look difficult. None of them are very difficult. We must just follow our rules. So I want us to do one together here. Number 1. Who wants to try and do number 1? Let's see if you understand what to do. First, we have to do brackets. Always remember BODMAS. I'll write it to the side here. Brackets of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So number one, who's going to try? Who's going to do it? Who will do it? Let's see. Who wants to try number one? You can write on the board and try and solve the problem. Is there anyone that wants to try? Try and solve the number one. Well, let's see what Leon does here. 1/2, yes, plus 1/4. Multiply 2, yes, very good. Equals 2/4. Okay. Are we sure it's 2/4? It's 2/4 plus 1/4. So here we have to add. We have 2/4, which is the first one, plus 1/4. Now we've done the denominators. So now we have to add and then multiply. So let's carry on doing it. Let's see, Tantan's trying the one here on the left. Let's see if he can do it properly. Yes, 6/15, yes. Plus 2/15, okay. Yes, yeah, is correct. Is correct, is correct. But now we have to solve the problem. Now we have to solve the problem. Okay, so Leon said it's a half. Let's quickly have a look, Leon. Let's quickly have a look at the one you did here. Remember, when we add in 2 plus 1 equals 3. Must remember 2 plus 1 will equal 3. We first have to add here. So this one here will be 3/4. 3/4. And remember, when we multiply with a whole number like 2, we always have to change it into a fraction. So it will be 3/4 times 2/1 will give us 6/4. 6/4. Oh, Tantan, where's the rest? You just did it. Why didn't you complete it? So if this one, remember, when we multiply whole numbers, we first have to change them to a fraction. And you can change them to a fraction by putting them over 1. 2/1 is the same as 2. Yes, and then the answer is 1 and 2/4. Very good, Leon. 1 and 1/2. Yes, you can finish it. 1.5. You get your last point there for 3 points. Yes, very good, very good. So that is how we will do our mixed problems. Anyone else want to try? How about number 5 and 6? Who wants to do 5 and 6? Anyone try to do 5 and 6? Let me just do number 2 because Tantan did it. Don't know why he removed this answer. It was correct. So someone please try and do 5 and 6. You can do it on the board and we can look at it together. Who's doing 3 and who's doing 4 and 5? Oh, sorry, 5 and 6. 5 and 6. Let's see who's doing that. And then number 2 answer is 1/5. Let's see someone do number 5 and 6. Let's look at number 5. What are we going to do first? What should we do first? First, we have to multiply the problem inside the brackets. Multiply inside the bracket. So 7 times 3 equals what? What is 7 times 3? 18. 7 times 3, 18. 10 times 5, 50. Divide by 2. 9/25. Is that correct? What is 7 times 3? Let's see what Kanda is doing here. Okay. Can we make 4/16 smaller? 4/16 is exactly the same as, is exactly the same as 1/4. 1/4. Remember, when we are multiplying here, when we multiply this one, we do not multiply at the top and the bottom. No. We only multiply at the top. The whole number times 4 equals 4/1. So we only multiply the top. So if you had the answer that Tantan had there, which was correct, 1/4 for this part is 100% correct. But the next part, we have to multiply by 4/1. We have to make the whole number a fraction before we multiply. So if you multiply now, 4 times 4, 1 times 4 equals 1. And 4 times 1 equals 4. So our answer equals 1. So this answer here equals 1. Remember, when we multiply with a whole number at the end, like here, we have to change it to a fraction. We have to change it to a fraction. And any whole number, fraction, we put over 1. So even if I have 12, my fraction equals 12 over 1. If I have 2, equals 2 over 1. If I have 4, we get 4 over 1. You cannot remember, if you want to multiply fractions or add or subtract fractions, we can only do it if we are working with fractions. So we have to change the whole numbers into fractions so that we are working with the same thing. Mathematics, we like working with the same things. We do not multiply a fraction with a decimal. No, we change them all to fractions, then we multiply. Or we change everything to decimals, then we multiply. So we always try and look at the ones that are the same. And then we can calculate properly when we have all the information the same. Okay. The last one, number 4. Yeah, okay, let's do number 7. I think number 4, we'll leave for now. First do number 7. Number 6, sorry, number 6. Number 6 at the bottom here. This one looks a bit different. Where will we start with this one? Where will we start with this one? For number 6, if we look at, we have brackets. Brackets. First one we have to do is brackets according to our BODMAS. Brackets. 5 over 7 times a half. So we can start off by writing the first number, 4 over 7. We do not need it now. We first need this one. So 5 over 7 multiplied by 1 over 2. 5 times 1 equals 5. 7 times 2 equals 14. Now we have a problem. Let's see now what Tantan is doing for number 5. If that's correct, yes, it looks correct so far. It looks correct so far. What is 7 times 6? 42. 42. So for the number 6, for the first part here, we got 5 over 14. Now we have to minus the 4 over 7. But first, we have to change the denominator to be the same. So multiply 2 will equals 8 over 14 minus 5 over 14 equals 3 over 14 as the final answer. As our final answer, 3 over 14 here is the final answer. Okay. Tomorrow I'll get some exercises for you to do tomorrow so that we can practice these problems. We will need to do a lot of exercises so that we can practice and make sure we understand. Okay. But for that is all that we are going to do for today for mathematics. I will give you some more exercises tomorrow, and then we can look at some different types of things that we can do. Okay. So I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you again at 2 o'clock for our other class. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Em vui.
Bye bye.